Hey there, crew. We're going to kind of go in a time machine and go back in time to the culture of ancient Egypt. Uh, I'm going to link this video in the instructions so you can go and watch it as well. It's a cool video kind of going through a lot of history with ancient Egypt and tells you a lot of cool stuff. Here are some ancient Egyptian artworks. These are the pharaohs here, and maybe this is the pharaoh in a chariot with some servants, and he's all royalty and looking fancy there. And I just love the art and culture of ancient Egypt. One of my favorite places I've ever been is the Louvre, the biggest museum in the world in Paris, France. They have a lot of cool ancient Egyptian artifacts and artworks, as well as the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. Absolutely loved it. I spent hours in the ancient Egyptian section. So cool. But going back to our theme here, ancient Egypt was rich in culture, including its government, religion, arts, and writing. The government and religion were really tied together, and the leader of everything was that pharaoh, like the all-powerful ruler. Only scribes could read and write back then, and since writing was important in keeping the government running, scribes were considered powerful and almost magical because they could read, write, and kind of put history down into writing. Here's some quick facts for you. You may know about the pyramids. They were used as tombs for the pharaohs and their family. And to date, over 130 pyramids have been discovered. The afterlife was something important to them, so that's why they would preserve a person as a mummy. So mummification. They believed that if you were a mummy, your soul would live on through the afterlife and carry out a legacy, so to speak. Another fun fact, both Egyptian men and women wore makeup. Makeup was used as like sunscreen back then because they didn't have sunscreen. The Egyptians were very innovative and invented so many things, and they kind of invented sunscreen through the makeup. So they wore a lot of eye paint to kind of block the sun. And it would sometimes be green if it was made from copper, or black made from lead. So you may see in a lot of Egyptian artworks like a thicker black outline around their eyes. And that is it right there. They also thought this makeup kind of had healing powers and was kind of magical in itself as well. Cats were also considered a sacred, almost magical animal. And so many people kept cats as pets because they considered it a good luck charm to have a pet cat. Also, some other cool inventions the Egyptians came up with that we still use today: paper, pens, locks and keys, and believe it or not, toothpaste. So you can thank the ancient Egyptians for that one. So here's some more ancient Egyptian art. You can pause to look and study a little longer. You could do some more research on your own as well. But I just love that these inventive, creative people in ancient Egypt understood the elements and principles of design because they have lines, they have shapes, they have colors, they have forms, they have sculptures, they have value, they have just amazing patterns as well, and some balance and symmetry. So they've got it all going on. They were really, really impressive. This is the Eye of Ra. So the Eye of Ra is a symbol of protection and wisdom because it's like the all-seeing eye. It's the sun god. So think of the sun up in the sky looking down. It can see everything. So Ra is the all-seeing eye, wisdom, knowledge. Here's some pyramids here. So like I said, forms or sculptures, that's what this really is. So architecture is a form of sculpture, and they built some of the coolest forms that I've ever seen. So these pyramids. And then the Sphinx is a symbol of Egypt. It's got like a lion body with a human head. So interesting there. But then a lot of the gods and goddesses in ancient Egypt had a human body with an animal or creature head or mask on. So kind of the opposite of the Sphinx, but very cool. And then you may have heard of King Tut before. There's good old King Tut. All right, and then here are those hieroglyphics. The ancient Egyptian civilization created hieroglyphics, which are little pictures, to symbolize or represent their words and letters. So instead of the letters that we know here, like our alphabet, they had little pictures to represent those letters to make words. And they the word hieroglyphics actually means and translates to holy writings. So it kind of goes back to them thinking the scribes, those that can read and write, were kind of magical and powerful because they thought that writing was just this holy, amazing thing. And really, if you can etch and understand all of these hieroglyphics, that is an amazing thing. I think it's a lot harder than if they just had the letters that we're used to. And the letter R, think of like Ra starts with R, and there's like the Eye of Ra. But maybe in your artwork, you could spell your name, your artist signature in hieroglyphics. Maybe you could do a secret message, just like the ancient Egyptians. So you could come back to this video and pause it right here if you wanted to jot down the entire alphabet, or maybe just use certain letters to create your message or artist signature and name. But I love the hieroglyphics. I love the culture of ancient Egypt, and I hope that you can get inspired too. Watch for those links. I'm going to read a few stories about ancient Egypt. There's that other extension video, and then I'll have a video giving a process so that we can kind of make an ancient Egyptian scene as well. So stay tuned. Keep up the good work. Maybe do some research on your own, but enjoy learning about ancient Egypt. Adios, amigos.